piece is Cafe Mueller by Pina Bausch, and I'm going to start with a quote. Pina said, "Repetition is not repetition. The same action makes you feel something completely different by the end." This is very present in her piece and all her pieces, and it almost makes you feel uncomfortable how repetitive it gets. I believe that this piece is placed inside of a mental ward, inside of maybe the cafeteria, and this is defined by the relationships between the dancers. So the stage is dimly lit, it's very dark, and there's chairs sporadically spread around the whole stage, taking up pretty much the whole thing, and they are moved around by one of the characters in it. And there are 5 dancers. There are 2 that I believe are mental patients wearing white nightgowns, 1 man in a suit who I believe is the therapist, and 1 man in a dress shirt and pants who is acting as a partner or companion to one of the women. And then there's a red-headed lady who is wearing a blue dress and is wearing heels as well. So the dancers pretty much define this piece, and they represent the characters in this facility. So the red-headed woman in the blue dress, she is acting as a visitor, and she scuffs her feet across the floor pretty much throughout the whole piece, and she looks panicked and lost. So here she is. And she's always urgently moving around and is just kind of roaming around, not noticing anyone. So there's this one of the mental patients, she's always isolated and keeps to herself. She brings in her movement from out and then brings it in to herself and does the same movement over and over again. And it's very fluid. And also, her eyes are closed pretty much the whole time, and it's like she's dreaming or sleepwalking, and she's in a dreamlike state. So she keeps to herself and doesn't really have any relationships with any of the other characters. She repeats that motion a lot throughout the piece. So then there's the other mental patient, and she has a relationship with the man in the suit. He acts as her therapist. He clears the way everywhere she goes, and eventually he grows tired of moving things out of the way because it's coming so rapidly. And he acts as a puppeteer at times, putting her all together, and then she just falls apart. And then that shows when he tries to grow impatient of her, he's showing that she's kind of a lost cause in his mind. So throughout this whole piece, she's just clearing the way for her as she just dances around. And then another relationship with her is the guy with this dress, pants, and suit. And they repeat the same action over and over again. That's the motif that they do. And they embrace each other during this repetition. they embrace, and then she falls out of his arms, and it's as if they're trying to salvage their relationship because it's strenuous inside of this hospital that she's in. Their movement is very aggressive and passionate, and just at times they just get very tired and lethargic as they're doing their movement. So. So he's putting them together, and then he keeps dropping her, and they have to go. And this is the part that happens so much that it's kind of uncomfortable. And you almost want to laugh at her pieces because she makes you feel an emotion no matter what. So through patterns of rapid movements, stillness, the relationships between the characters, dreamlike escapes, and through tedious repetition, this story is about the relationships and lack thereof of mental patients in a abandoned mental hospital. So, thank you for listening.